I want every YouTube creator and business owner to read this book. Small creators love to blame the algorithm or the competition. But the truth is, they never truly learn these 5 storytelling lessons. Hi, my name is Gabriella and I help busy creators grow their YouTube channels and businesses. Sometimes it means reading good books and giving you the gist of it. In this video, we'll go through 5 key lessons I learned from Rob Biesenbach's book, Unleash the Power of Storytelling. Lesson 1. Emotion fuels stories, even in business. A whole chapter of this short book is dedicated to the power of emotion, and I think for a reason. Because a good story must evoke feelings. Otherwise, it's easy to forget, not interesting, or worst, not even a true story. In the book, it's explained differently, but let's give it a go. All classic storytelling follows a similar structure. Someone wants to go from point A to point B, which basically means they have a goal to reach. Of course, there has to be someone who wants and tries to reach the goal, a character. But a story wouldn't be a story if it would be that easy. So, there's a challenge in their way. In the end, there's some resolution. They achieve their goal, or they learn an unexpected lesson on their way. Why does this classic storytelling formula work? Because all it does is makes us feel. We feel the unsatisfied desire the character feels when they have a goal. We feel for them in the face of a difficult challenge, and we hope the resolution is in their favor. Without the emotion, the story would be boring. Without the emotion, we wouldn't feel for the character. And finally, without the emotion, we wouldn't learn the lesson the story aims to teach. It all applies in business storytelling as well. We need stories to stick and help us get remembered. We want our customers to sympathize with us after hearing our origin story. And ultimately, we want effective stories on our websites that would teach them why our product is the best solution in the case like theirs. Emotion helps us achieve it. Lesson 2. Focus your story and declutter it. Truly, this is the most common mistake I see small YouTubers and business owners make. In the creator economy, there's even a new term for this mistake. They call it a rant. It's like they created a new type of content to justify their lack of preparation. All the rants I saw go viral came from established creators who simply have loyal audiences. It's not like a rant is a good content type. It's lazy content big popular creators can indulge in because they're already well established. To make my point, let's take a quick look at a popular children's tale. Why tales? Because they are a perfect example of stories that are decluttered of unimportant details. Because they are retold hundreds of times by different people. In fairy tales, details are either important or they are lost. It's the ultimate test. So as the story goes, a curious girl named Goldilocks wanders into a quiet forest cottage and can't resist trying everything. Porridge, chairs, even beds. Until she finds the ones that feel just right. But when the 3 bears who live there return, she bolts in fright, learning a lesson about respecting others' things. The true tale is a bit longer, but it's a pretty decent summary. Now compare this to another version. Okay, so I think it was a long time ago. Honestly, I'm not sure when, maybe 1800s, though some argue early 19th century, and one neighbor, Mrs. Bramblewick, insisted it was a Thursday. So a girl wandered into a forest cottage after passing by the homes of the Turners, the Millers, and a man named Geoffrey, who kept unusually tidy hedges. Inside, she sampled 3 bowls of porridge, which might have been oatmeal. People ate that a lot back then. Then she sat in their chairs and tried their beds. Then the 3 bears came back from their walk. They were gone for at least 40 minutes and found everything disturbed. The girl woke up and ran away. Though I'm not sure what happened after or if anyone ever figured out why she was there in the first place. This sounds a lot like someone's grandma wanting to talk rather than knowing what she really wants to tell you. Which tale would you listen to? Which tale gets the point across? Not sure how to focus your story? Just put your editor's hat on. There are these clear digressions that are completely unnecessary. If you remove them, you'll see the key parts of your story that you can then focus. Maybe you'll find even more important details you missed that can actually support your main story and make it more clear. Lesson 3. Put self-interest last, or how not to sound like a jerk. So let's say you're a business owner and you want to tell your story so people would trust you and buy your solution. The obvious way is to say, hey, look, I'm this hero. I had this challenge, but I'm so strong, so I overcame it. If you pay me money, I'll teach you how to do it too. Some people sell even with this type of story, but this way you obviously will sound like an ass. What to do? Give the key elements another perspective. Make your character feel more like a person by giving it feelings. Focus on him being confused, how he dreamt of a bigger life, how he wasn't sure he would make it. It will help your audience relate to you. Or even better, change the character from you to someone else who already tried your solution and tell their story. Make the challenge look bigger. Show how difficult it is. Tell about all the ways your character tried solving it and couldn't make it. Show the impact it has on someone's life. This will make your audience feel understood. Because yeah, the struggle is real. And then the resolution. It doesn't always have to be the same old story with a happy ending. It can be, but you can always tell it with a twist. You can tell about the unexpected lesson you learned, how you understood that the goal you were trying to reach won't actually make you happy, how something even better happened, how you didn't succeed and you understood why. There are so many options. Avoiding the classical happy ending makes it feel more like a reality rather than a fairy tale. It gives you vulnerability people will appreciate, and it helps you teach a lesson way better than any other success story. Lesson 4. Narrower is better. One of the most common digressions businesses love is showcasing their full spectrum. Whenever they can, listing all their services and products, showing all their awards in one page, and mentioning all the clients they can. They think that customers will surely buy if they will only know about the product, as if the problem is only lack of information. I know that by now it's a cliche, but in today's world, there's only too much information. Your job is to be specific. It's the only way to be heard, and this applies not only to businesses. Many creators are guilty of this too, myself included. Anytime I'm giving abstract advice, not searching for a better example to get my point across, or describing something as good instead of a more specific thrilling or polished, every time I'm doing this, I'm being lazy. Lesson 5. Be a lifelong collector of stories. Now, a natural question that might arise is, where should you find stories to tell? We've certainly all been in a situation where you, for example, sit down to write your website's About section, and you suddenly realize you don't have a story to tell. Well, you certainly shouldn't ask Google or ChatGPT to invent your story for you. The author argues that the most appropriate way to deal with these kind of situations is to be a lifelong collector of stories. Sounds like a lot of work? It is. But it doesn't mean you need to write down the story how your mom found those shoes she likes so much. Rob Eisenbach says you should find clarity on what your topic is and note down all the stories you hear on that topic. He's the storytelling guy, so he collects stories about storytelling. If you're an expert on dog training with a focus on dog-owner relationships, you should collect stories about owners' interactions with their dogs. Easy as that. You'll thank yourself when you want to launch your YouTube channel. Each of the stories you wrote down might even become its own video. If you look at it from this perspective, as a YouTuber, you should write down your video ideas anyway. So it's not crazy to suggest to look for those video ideas in the real-world situations or in the stories that you heard from others. So, is it worth reading the full book, even after you watch this video? My answer is yes. It's a super short book, so even if you feel that you heard the lessons in this video already, I think that the act of listening to the author explaining them will be worth the time, because learning from these lessons and applying them is what really matters. Plus, the book goes more into detail, explaining storytelling basics on how to create a story, advanced storytelling tips, some of which you already heard in this video, And most importantly, the third part of the book is on applied storytelling. So it gives you specific storytelling advice for telling your company's or your own story, including stories in your presentations, toasts, tributes, or eulogies. Is it worth buying a physical book? If you're a lover of audiobooks like me, go for audio, as the lessons are pretty major and the book has a lot of good stories used to convey these lessons. You can definitely learn pretty well from audio. Although, if you currently are doing a big project like preparing for an important presentation or updating your website, you might want to highlight some parts and read while noting down ideas for your project. In that case, a physical book or a Kindle version might be better for it. Finally, who is it for? Anyone looking to improve their storytelling, both in business and personal occasions. Personally, I want every YouTube creator and business owner to read this book. Small creators love to blame the algorithm or the competition, but the truth is they never truly learn these 5 storytelling lessons. And so many videos and websites are poorly written. Every video we make is basically a story, and this book will teach you how to tell it so others would listen. If you like this video and learned something new, subscribe for more book reviews on my channel. See you in the next video and keep striving forward.